All right, so I want to say thanks to Ben Kinsella again for recording this game for us. Uh, this was a pretty good game. I think we played really well for the most part. Totally outplayed the other team. If we had taken a little bit better care, like I said in the recap of our sort of our chances and our crosses, I think we would have scored quite a few more goals and really could have. So hopefully this gives a little bit of a better of an understanding for from a visual perspective of the things that I'm talking about, and really that the players, especially, I really think that the players should watch this. I think that's really important. They're also kind of able to see that bird's eye view of the way they play and how they do and what they can improve and you know what they're also doing well already. So I think the first couple minutes of this game, we're battling a little in the midfield. We're able to play a good ball out wide, and Grace here does a good job to just get us up the field, use some technique, find a pass. Layla does the same. Lulu tries to find a cross to Sasha. I think that's a really good play, and that's a good way for us to get settled in a game. Just attack once, have a little bit of combination play, some one-touch passes. It doesn't work out, but that's no big deal because now we can try and really see how good this team is at getting out, right? Right now, what you see is a giant gap just to the right of the referee, and that's where this ball ends up. And it's where we need to have two central midfielders standing basically just at the top of the circle. If they're there, they can run forward to cut anything out that gets hit long into the middle of the field. And for the most part, that will be the max distance of any goal kick that just gets kicked out. So the last thing I want is for it to go through us, and then instead of us winning the ball in their half and going forward, we let it get to half field, and it becomes again a battle of who can get control in the midfield, sort of like it is right now, right? And turnovers matter. You see right there, the girl kind of panics and passes the ball out of bounds, and we do basically the opposite. We go ahead and try and switch the ball and use the space, right, to try and get open. And Lola losing the ball right there, it's such a small margin of just getting a little bit more open, the pass being just waiting just a little bit to actually play the ball instead of taking it really, really early. But again, this is good combination play for us to get forward. Really good idea for a through ball to the back posts. And here we just can't really let them out that easy, right? I think it's good, Grace went to go tackle the ball. And I think we have a tendency to do that where we're like, I'm going to go win it. But if the other player deals with the pressure that you bring, if you just go all out to win the ball and they evade you, well, now they're dribbling through the midfield. So if they don't really have anywhere to go, keep it that way. You don't need to steal it. See if they're clever enough to find a teammate and pass out of it. So one thing I wanted to mention, a lot of the girls kind of sort of had mild complaints about some of the calls. As I was rewatching them on this, I think he honestly got everything right. They're small fouls. They're not, there's nothing really nefarious about them, but they were fouls, little ones. So I just want the players to know, these were correct decisions. So again, this is good positive play from forward players, getting the ball, turning, facing forward, driving at the opponents. And then this is right here where I started to take issue with how we attacked. That cross went straight to the goalkeeper, and how about that for a punt? So in 3 bounces, this has turned into a situation where we are now having to deal with the ball outside of our own goal box, and we're, giving away possession in our defensive third of the field. We really don't want to do that. And so what I told the players repeatedly throughout this half, whether they were on the sideline or you hear me yell it to a few of them on the field, that you cannot be kicking a ball into the goalkeeper's hands because they can release a very big counterattack by simply punting the ball. And I mean, if you think about it, the camera's been panned right ever since that cross, right? The ball's been in this half of the field. Now we've got to figure out a way to deal with it. And so this, once again, great work, running down the side. And I think that's just rushing it. Again, I think it's she did have pressure, but she didn't need to kick it into the middle of the box. She wasn't going to score from there. Here I hear someone say, shoot.
Hey, that's 3 crosses in a row, not 2 arches, and you're trying to get near the goalie. Find a teammate.
And so I think that's the biggest thing is look up and cross to somebody. Because, Grace right there, she's sort of switched into the center forward position. Whoever's in there, we just want to kind of put it where they are instead of closing our eyes and just kicking it, hoping it gets into the middle or close to the goalkeeper. We really want to find our teammates. And you'll see countless examples of this throughout this game. That's a much better ball. And I know that, yes, they got to it, but the play was still alive. I actually thought that the technique as well, to hit that with her left foot hard across the ground, it's a good ball. That's good defending. And this right here is what I love. Your 2v1, take your time. Get out of it. We're good. Unlucky on that last pass, but that's what I like, building out. A lot of players in those situations, defenders, will get scared and just kick it out for a throw-in and give it to the other team. But if we have a numerical advantage, we should use it. We're technically capable. We should do it. So here I'm saying press because, look, when our goalkeeper, when Nolani has the ball in her hands, if she is going to punt it, our 3 forwards need to get closer together so that any bouncing ball like that, they can work together to get. Because the bouncing ball is not one that's under control, and the opponent is, having to deal with it going towards their own goal. So all we need to do is help it continue in that direction and work together to steal it, and then we can, potentially be able to get some kind of a breakaway or even just get ourselves way up the field. So again, really good play. Lola finds Lulu in the middle. Sasha's on her bike. She's taken off. She has completely beaten this girl and rushes it. If you look in the middle, Grace was 8 yards out from goal, and Caitlin was about 6 yards out at the back post, both wide open. And those are just, we have to calm down in those situations and do the simple thing. And we're 8 minutes into this game. I mean, there's been 3, I think, opportunities that, if we had just done a simple thing, we probably would have scored. That wouldn't have taken anything brilliant. So here I've been telling the players that are on the bench all about this. I mean, it's probably what I've spent the most amount of time talking about in these opening exchanges. The other thing I mentioned is that our central midfielders are doing the same thing. A lot of the time, Lulu and Jocelyn were in the exact same area, doing the exact same thing.
Different positions, you're doing the same thing.
So that's what I just said right there. And the problem is we don't have an outlet. Neither one of them is someone we can pass to go out of that crowded area. And I think it's great that Lola can go in and step into that area, but we just don't need 2 people doing the exact same thing. If everyone varies their movement a little bit, there will always be some kind of outlet somewhere. So that was one of the changes that I wanted from the players on the bench to bring. So right here I'm telling the players to transition quicker, right? It's a throw-in. We know it's their throw-in, yet we're all walking and waiting to get back. You run, jog, whatever you get back into position well before the play restarts, and then you organize yourself with your teammates. That is for sure what we have to do. And it gets us ready, it gets us set, and balls that bounce around in the middle from a throw-in like that, we deal with better than it getting to this, because all the players, they arrived back into their position right when the ball was being thrown in, so they didn't know what was around them. So it's really important, and you'll hear me say this a lot. Do not turn your back on the ball. If the goalkeeper has a goal kick or a punt, don't turn your back on the ball thinking you know what's going to happen next. You have to watch it because you don't know what's going to happen next. So here, no pressure on the ball from them.
She needs options.
Just go simple.
Just
Just go simple.
drop.
Yeah, something like that. There we go. Now the ball's moving, and Paige can actually dribble. And we were a little scruffy getting out of that, but I think the short pass to a midfielder, back to the defender, who can then, hopefully really start the attack. I think that's a good way to go. If there's a really wide open player just a few yards from you, just to get the ball rolling, use it. Don't wait and look for some other run, because everyone's just standing still because the ball is completely still. Great clearance, really good clearance. And again, it's Grace is the only one underneath the ball, and she's able to actually win it. Imagine if she had just a little bit more help. People running beyond her, besides just Caitlin right there. So that's good. Caitlin gets the ball behind. We try and cross it in. That actually went into a dangerous area. I like that, the idea of dribbling deep, cutting it back to somebody who's already looking forward. So here we're starting to get our subs ready. We've been playing for about almost 13 minutes here. So the first group that goes on is, a group of midfielders, and then we have a change in central defense. And the next group that's going to go on are going to be the front three. And, I want to give as much even playing time as I can. I really don't have a first 11 that I would say, this is our best for sure. Different players show up better on different days, but what I see is a team with a whole lot of weaponry and a lot of really good options to score goals, and that's why so far I think you've seen a lot of diversity in which players have scored and which ones have been able to be threatening games and sort of have a great day, if you will.
Press the ball.
So that's, I get urgent about that situation, because all it takes is a player on the other team, enough time to look up, put the ball out of their feet, and smack one sort of through our defense, and goals can get scored pretty easily that way. It's one thing we really want to avoid, and just putting pressure on the ball, it makes everything different. It causes the opponents to really force something technical and thoughtful. And there again, and you getting right up on him, not turning. Lola making 2 tackles in a row. Unfortunately, clipped the foot of the defender in the end there. That was probably a soft foul. And so now here, everyone's getting back well enough, but we're way back. And Nolani just got into on her own goal line. It's, how far is this ball really going to go? That's my question. We need to get under it. First ball right there. We need to be behind it. Not let the girl turn. Can we steal it? Yes. Now can we get out? Good work by Delaney to really force it forward. Excellent help by Sasha to not just steal the ball, but then take off running, keep it in play, and now start to drive inside. That's really good. And gets by. There's a load of time. And so what I'm saying here, she could have taken 3 more touches, but this is where fatigue comes in a little bit, right? 15 minutes, Sasha's made 4 or 5 of those long 50-yard sprints to get around somebody. And, at this point, you can see why the 3 that are going to come on should really help make a difference. That's good defending. 2, not letting the girl out. Okay, they get a throw in, but try again. Can you keep it? Very good to take it out of the air, except it's a handball. One of those things we got to get used to, not putting our hands in the air when the ball is coming, because you're not going to use it to protect your face, because that'll be a handball. More than likely, you're going to just let it go by you, or you've got to find a way to take it out of the air.
Yeah.
That's great defending by Maggie. She loses the ball initially, but keeps going after it, gets it back. Someone distracting our videographer here. And so here, ball gets kicked forward. The attackers need to be, as soon as that ball gets lifted up, they need to know, oh, that's going to go over me. That's going to go through the defense. I'm going to start running because it's already been kicked. You're not going to be offside. Whereas we wait for the ball to go over us and then turn and start running. You have to anticipate where it's going to go and just move. As a forward, you can get tons of breakaways from just someone just clearing a ball and you anticipating it first. Another good attack down the side here. Caitlin does well to get free of her defender, push it forward. Look at all the time and space she has. I mean, the defender actually gave up. The one that was originally chasing her just stopped running after her. She could have stopped, taken a touch inside. And I think it's just important for players, I'm not ragging on you guys. I'm not. It's so good to be able to see this because you start to realize, wow, I made that a little more difficult than it needed to be. Turns out I can calm down. I can do this. I can score a lot more goals and set up a lot more goals. There's another one of those situations where I think if Sasha's behind Grace there, running off of Grace, trying to flick the ball, you can create an opportunity to score. Great defending, great combination, excellent touch to get beyond the defender, good use of the body to protect the ball, and well done to just poke it in. And so that's an 18.5-minute shift, so that's half of the half for that front 3. And I think, if you play half of a half, what we want you to do is get us on the scoreboard. We really want to make sure that the groups that play do effective things when they're on the field. And one thing that just happened a couple minutes ago, a ball got punted in the middle, and I think it was Lindsay or Delaney got underneath it and made absolutely sure it didn't bounce. Something I'd mentioned to everyone, do not let punts bounce. And, those little tiny details, they can change the tide of which half of the field the game is being played in. So now we're up 1-0. Finally, we've got some breathing room, and that feels good because we've created a lot of chances, and we've looked really good. But, we needed Nolani to make a sort of block a shot really early in the game from us being a little bit sloppy. And so now it's time to take some confidence from what we've just done and start running away with this game if possible. in good defending everywhere. You can just see pressure on the ball. That's good. See ambitious. G really, pressing forward, getting up, smelling the danger. I think Chloe right there, good job of getting into the center forward position instead of being stuck out on the back post. She, almost able to get to the ball. Again, a good win in the middle. That there by Maggie. Great ball outside. Cross in. And goal. I mean, it really is pretty simple. I mean, these 2 minutes here, and this is one of the reasons why I like bringing on almost a new team all at once, is because one group has been on the field for about 5-6 minutes. Another group just came on, and we're full of energy. We've just been able to watch 6 other players trying to score a goal and running into some problems with certain specific issues and what little things we can fix from one group to the next. And that's a real great thing for me as a coach to have with this team is everyone is reliable and everyone wants to give their best and make things happen. So for us, the key is going to be play with a lot of energy. There's 18 players on this team. You are not going to just play all game, every game. We know that center backs and outside backs and obviously Nolani are going to get the most amount of playing time. Outside of that, it'll be pretty even. And so therefore, what you do with your minutes, it really is up to you. And if we all play with a ton of energy when we are on the field and we really make as much happen as we possibly can, then it makes the games worth it at the end. I know we may not be exhausted at the end of the game like you want to because you played 70 minutes, but we have a genuine possibility of winning a lot of our games this season if everyone really brings the best energy and performance that they can when they are on the field. A small foul by Delaney, but what she's doing there is she's just being aggressive. She's just really all over the other player trying to get the ball. And this is the thing is it's just a foul, and it's in the middle of the midfield. So the payoff is good. If we win the ball there, we're in a great position to attack. They have a set piece here. I mean, what are they really going to do with it? We've got people back. I mean, I'll take this all day. Go ahead. Just kick it right into our midfield, and we'll go ahead and try and we'll defend it. And we will. For the most part, we will defend those balls. So being aggressive in the midfield is a really good thing. So right here when I'm talking to these three were the ones that were playing in the midfield. And I'm kind of trying to explain to them that they weren't alternating their positions enough. And they weren't taking up different spaces to be able, as a triangle, to be able to use each other. A lot of the problems that we were seeing between, Jocelyn and Lulu said, we just weren't playing, we haven't played together that much. Normally we're paired up with someone different when you put us in. I'm like, well, clearly, you guys didn't even say anything to each other. So we do need to communicate and get through just being able to organize with anyone because we know how to play our position. So now we just need to organize with the person next to us, stay connected, and feel solid. Just a little note to anyone who says they're not sure they like playing left or right defense. This is our left back taking throw-ins. And as Lola and as Zoe get more and more comfortable with what I would like to see from their positions, they will be getting forward, and they hopefully will score a few goals this season as well. So anyone who is worried about ever being put in a defensive position, you can attack. You definitely can. You can definitely find ways to score. It depends on how well the team in front of you plays and keeps the ball, but it's doable. This is a good idea. Zoe needs to get very wide here and face forward. I think that pass is just a little bit slow for us to really get out the other side. But the overall idea of what we were trying to do there is great.
Straight down.
The passes just need to be a little harder so that you're taking the long route to get around the other team. You have to do it quickly because they have less ground to cover than you're trying to pass the ball.
So you're running straight. Straight.
Again, good pressure on the ball. And because there's pressure, it forces a quick decision. It forces something slightly panicked. And now we just have it back. So I like the way the ball's moving quicker. And I love the idea. You go wide, back to the center back, try and get the ball into a midfielder. Okay, the pass wasn't perfect, and Delaney wasn't ready to take that down with her chest, but the build-out idea, the fact that we got the ball rolling quickly, very good. Again, good pressure on the ball. I mean, if Chloe just decides, well, I'm a forward, I don't need to do this, she doesn't get it back.
Chloe, find somebody. G is literally wide open at the back post.
And if you were paying attention, G at the back post, if you want, you can go ahead and rewind that. But G at the back post, completely open. And, again, we're capable of making a 15-yard pass across the box to someone on the floor, and we can do that. It's the composure. But again, the chance is created by something good. There's another really, really good piece of skill, a rushed cross. Even though it's not into the goalie, it's still just taken too early. Again, pressure on the ball. This is our left back. Why not just press high and not let them out? If we lose it, yeah, we got to work. That's the only worry. But we can do it. And this is a moment of battle, right? There have been a couple tackles in a row here. It's been a little bit physical. And I think we're dealing with it really, really well. Again, good play by Delaney to win the ball, to quickly find Maggie. Good idea to try and switch it. Really good defending by Zoe to come away with the ball and just completely just bully the attacker, steal it from her. And that's one of the situations where I would love to see us be able to just retain possession, where if it goes backwards there, we can go even further back and away to the side and just re-slow the whole game down. Now that we've stolen the ball, if we can just get control and calm it down, that would be easier to just hold on to it. So everyone needs to be pushed way up here. There should not be a single player on their team open because of how long it took for the ball to travel from the midfield to their goalie. By the time it gets to their goalie, there needs to be no one on their team open in an advanced in a position close to their goal. Nobody. And that way we can steal it a lot easier. And you see here how they are not pressing up on us. And so we have options. We have numbers. There's 3 of us here to be able to deal with this situation. 4 of us. We're even able to sort of mess up communication and almost keep the ball.
Good job, girls.
So here we have a free kick, and look how long the ball is stationary, and look at 3 players open in the middle, and we're still waiting, we're still waiting. Combats to Lindsay, that ball to Maggie could have happened 5 seconds earlier. And so, I do understand the idea of letting the team get forward and get into position, but there's also taking the free kick before the other team can. So here's we can see the goal, where we can see our goal. And look, this girl's running to the corner. She is going nowhere. So Sasha doesn't necessarily need to try and win the ball. And lunging in to try and get it, the girl's able to take a touch by her and then face up and cross in the middle. And by the way, can we take note of the fact that that cross did not go to Nolani. It went back just outside of the 6-yard box for a girl to tap it in. So the one time where they get the opportunity to play a good ball in, they found a way to score. How about that for a ball? That's exactly what we want. And so you'll see we improved a lot of things in this second half from the first half. But we also let this game get a little bit weird. It's 2-1.
Good. That's an excellent ball.
And so, here in the opening, minute and a half of in the opening minute of this half, we've created 2 really good opportunities. Both of them because the cross at the end was good. The build-up play was good as usual, but the cross at the end created an extremely dangerous situation. Sasha gets unlucky there that the ball bounces a little bit high, that she's got to jump and it catches her shin. Grace did a really good job to attack the ball. It's one of those situations where you can be the hero. Go for it with your head. Even if it hits you in the face and you get a bloody nose, you scored a goal. And so I think the thing that started to hurt us in this, for about 10 minutes of the second half, there's a little period where I think we lost a little bit of technical quality in some of the things we were doing. I don't think we went through any period that was just bad, but it gets a little disjointed in the second half at times, you'll see, and that's what we want to avoid. If we're out playing a team to this degree, we need to see the game out and really enjoy ourselves through it instead of let it become, just a nervy game and a tetchy situation that we didn't want and that we didn't need. So the reason I'm telling Grace to stay up here is because if we win this ball and are able to clear it forward quickly, yes, we had to face our own goal and get control of it, but if we were able to face forward quickly there, there's an opportunity here, another big ball out. If we're on that last defender, we can cause them the problems and then help the ball go beyond. Really good play by Zoe to get by her, and here's what I want. Keep going. I'm telling her, don't stop. Keep going. And this is what we need. We need to be very positive, trying to go forward. That's good defending right there, to keep Caitlin's cross from actually getting into the middle. I think you can see by the way her body moved and the way she was kicking the ball that she was making a strong effort to bring it back into the box.
try to avoid the defender, you will hit the goalie. Hit the defender's shins, get a corner.
Right here, Zoe is kind of disconnected from the defense. You can see there's a gap about 40 yards between her and the closest defender. And if it goes into the middle, that white attacker right there is clean through on goal. So as a back line, the four of them need to be, the four of you that are playing in that back line, you have to be communicating and you have to stay pretty much equidistant. There can't be a 10-yard gap between the first two, a 10-yard gap between the next two, 10-yard gap between the next two, and then 30 yards between the other one,
Lulu, just hold. Look, you're wide open, so why walk into
So here's the reason why I like for central midfielders to hold their position, because Lulu has been wide open this whole time, and now that she dragged that defender out to go mark her, the space right at the top of the box is huge. That space that we can pass into to give our center forward the ball. So, holding your space can change the behavior of defenders and then give you a better option. So one thing about corner kicks that I've mentioned a lot of times, if you see at the corner of the 6-yard box, you can't see her just this moment, but at the corner of the 6-yard box, they have a player who is just there to front any short ball. And the ball goes right to her. Okay, if we hit a corner, that's what's going to happen. The key is that we always get someone to get in front of her. They need to run from somewhere else and get in front of her so that we obstruct her ability to actually clear the ball. And that's good defending. You win the ball, take it to the outside, get your body in the way, draw foul. Now we've got time. And so here's where, I like to think, take a look across. There's an option. Good. Now that we faked it, that girl, their center forward, has changed her behavior and left an alley for us to pass into. So if we stretch ourselves open when we have possession of the ball and look at a couple of our different options, our opponents are going to change what they do. If we stand completely still and stay compact, it's just too easy for them.
excellent.
It's a good switch of play right there. Really good driving into the box, and again, ball goes out for a goal kick on the near post. And we'll work on this. So, for all the girls that were playing up front this week, if you felt like you didn't do that great and you let yourself down in some way, don't worry. I think what happened in this game was a perfect way for us to focus on that in a big way and really improve it this week, doing some real crossing and finishing. And then we'll be more confident going into next game. We'll know exactly what the cues are, what kind of things we have to do, how to time everything, and we'll get a lot better.
Come on, Caitlin, come on, Caitlin. Hey! Burgundy, you have to want the ball.
So right there, this is starting to get a little hairy, and I'm getting annoyed because it's 3-4 times in a row where, there was kind of a player on their team who got it ahead of one of us. If she got it and she was able to dribble 3 touches before anyone even started to close her down, and those are the things that let teams back into a game. I guess if you've been watching this, it's pretty clear which team is more dominant and can control the game better. But this is youth soccer. I mean, this is just soccer in general. Weird things can happen if you take your eye off the ball. And here, Layla is our attacking midfielder. She's, making a tackle at the top of our box. That's not really where I want her. And so once people start missing tackles, we start getting disorganized because everyone's trying to fill other gaps. And then we're in the wrong position, doing things we're not used to, and we give up a chance like this. And it's 2-1. We've completely dominated the game. And I'm not going to lie, this is scary. You know, I'm sitting there on the sideline going, oh gosh, you know, you designate someone who can shoot in these situations, who can put one on target from here, who's pretty reliable. Normally that's what you do. Fortunately, her shot's pretty weak, and actually, you know, impressively, we take a good position right there to just block the ball, and I think we deal with it okay. Okay, so now we've given up a corner. So we're in a little, we're under the cosh here. We're going through a little spell where we're under pressure, and we have to be able to deal with it. And this will happen this season.
Drop and face forward. No, you're literally going.
Yeah, that's me kind of trying to say something and getting a little frustrated. Basically, the idea is on corner kicks, what we want to do is we want to be facing forward up the field and run forward towards the ball to kick it out. If we go and mark the attacking player at the top of the 18, they start running towards goal, we follow them. Now we're just risking knocking the ball in our own net. So you have to stay back away from your marker, see them, see where they're going, and then go ahead and make a play to go forward towards the ball. So that was what was making me a little bit nervous. Again, across that, you know, it's just rushed, right? There's 3 people that made it into the box there. We've got to find a way to score. So you can see right now, and I was starting to get a little nervous because I felt like small things were starting to go in the other team's favor. And at some point it takes quality, it takes, you know, a little bit of extra determination to just do something right and to do it just better. And I'm fine with that from Kaylin. She didn't really have a crossing opportunity. She tried to pull it back. But that's why if we push forward, even if she loses the ball, their player doesn't really have anywhere to go. And here, we go all the way around. We involve our outside back. This is really good build-up play. And where does the cross go? Boom! Missing on the bounce. Now we've got to deal with a situation back there. And we deal with it. So it's good that our back line is handling this and able to play us out, get the ball into our midfield so that we can go ahead and try again. She was quite a few yards offside, but when I see players get a breakaway, I know that the difference between it being a goal or not could be whether or not the official saw it, and sometimes they don't. I mean, I will tell you right now, I rely on them to a certain degree, but if we need an offside, if offsides needs to happen for us to not get scored on, it shows that we were taking a risk, and not necessarily a wrong one, but it means the ball got through us, and so that can be scary. So here, after about 8 minutes, something like that, decided to go ahead and sub the whole group. You know, we're working hard. I think we're playing okay, but a little injection maybe of energy here can help get us over the line. And it's always interesting, right, to see how groups perform in either 8 minutes or 15 minutes, what they offer, what kind of quality they bring, and also intensity.
They are going to do this. Run right by you, and they will score because you're not going to be able to keep up with them.
So I'm kind of remonstrating with the players here about the fact that we need to be making real tackles and really be going for the ball a little bit better. That we've just gotten a little soft. I think we think we're going to just play through them and beat them because it's been pretty easy to attack, but we just have to keep that discipline in tackling. It's well done by Paige to get her head up to find G, and for G to go to the ball, shield it, and bring it up the field inside. Not a great ball, but she keeps with it, and that's another situation. Ball's on your right foot, you've got your arm already stretched out, keep it that way. Keep the girl away from the ball. Take a touch forward, and then use your pace to get to it and dribble around. It's just, we went on super fast motion. Our brains just went on overdrive the second we went to the box. It's like when my computer overheats. That's what it was. Tough for us to keep possession, but this is what we need to do. Small, just simple things, right? We just used 3 players to go 3-on-2, and now we've used our advantage to go forward again. Great ball. I mean, that right there is perfect build-up play. Really, if anyone wants to see an example of how you use your numbers to overload a team, that was it right there. We involve our 2 center backs to draw in their forwards. We use our outside back and the 2 center backs to create 3-on-2. Once we draw them in, we go around them and forward, and then we have advantages already going there. So it was great play. And you can see I'm very excited about those kinds of things. End product just needs to improve. Good pressure. And see, that's pretty good by G, because she's at least making sure that she's kicking the ball, in an area where Scarlett's going to be looking for her instead of just whack somewhere into the box. So every single player had moments where they did that well and could have done it better. But if you think about the amount of opportunities we had, if we do more than half of them just a little bit better, they could be goals. Good pressure on the ball again, force the girl to just give it up. Good pass into the midfield. But again, I'm saying relax here because we do 2 things well in a row, and then the third thing, that's great skill by Casey. Looks wide to find a winger, and here we go. We're tearing up the side. Chloe does really well to get herself inside. Unfortunate not to win a corner kick there. I'm saying face the ball, face the ball. Just walk backwards so you know what's going on. And, we should win that one, because if our center midfielders, if Delaney is 5 yards further back when that ball is kicked, she runs forward and brings it down. So you may think, well, Zoe should have crossed that ball. That would have been good. But because she was patient, yes, the defender did a good job to tackle him and win it. But G was supporting her, and look, we have a throw in here now. Their goalkeeper does not have it in her hands, so I consider that a win. Once again, you see the level of danger that a good ball that's put in there can. This is mayhem for them in the box right now. These are panic button situations. And it's all about kicking the ball away from the person who can use their hands. Right there, Delaney in absolutely the right spot. Lindsay as well. We win it, and we're driving forward. Great pressure on the ball in the back from Paige. Finds a simple pass. Lindsay as well. And look, all of this is fine. Simple balls. And Nolani, I'm willing for her to go ahead and make some of her choices. If she's 25 yards out from the goal and wants to just get rid of it, that's okay too. But all of this did lead to us now attacking. Once again, driving up the side. Could be a little bit firmer of a ball, but I like that it's pulled back away from the goalkeeper. Because once again, they're having to get out with their feet, not their goalkeeper using a punt. And we're winning it back in the midfield every time. So now the pressure that we're putting on them is really, really good. We got to make it into something. Really good work there by Paige to find Zoe. Zoe, well done to just whack it off their shins and get a throw in. And we can relax for a second. So here, foul. I think we're honestly slow to join the play. We lose the ball. And it's actually a pretty good foul if you think about it, because it was a pretty dangerous situation for us right there. So, smart foul. And I'll take those all day. Really, I'm not even remotely concerned about that kind of thing. That's not a good free kick. But other teams will do things like that a lot, and we have to be able to set ourselves up in a way that puts us in a position where we feel comfortable. Pretty good build-up play right there, you know, simple pass to the left center back goes straight to the winger, who turns and tries to go forward. You know, we give up a throw in at the halfway line, I'm pretty confident we can defend it, which we did right here. But it is still 2-1, so how can we go and finally win this game? We've got to get one more to bury it, and it's coming. But there's been a little section here, now we're giving up another free kick, so we gave up one from similar position on the near side. Now we're giving them yet another chance to go ahead and hit one into the box. And though I'm not too nervous about them based on what they've offered from set pieces so far, I'm still aware that weird things can happen. And this is precisely what I mean. If they had found a way to stab that in, they can't think of an uglier way to score a goal, right? Poor free kick that gets cleared out, someone just whacks it back into the middle of the box, it bounces twice. But, you know, we can't take for granted the work we do to get a lead, the work we do to play well on the field, to build and advance and create opportunities. You know, this game is about goals. You have to score goals, and that's why it's fun too. I don't want to be a team that wins 2 and 3-1 every week. You know, from the same players, just able to just edge one in. I want us to really make a difference. That's really good play by Kaylin to shield, allow the ball to bounce over her. Really good use of the body there to keep the player away. Still driving. And I think about all the hard work. Yes, we probably need to be a little bit fitter so that in those areas, you know, we really still have the stamina to achieve what we're doing. But it's more about composure than anything else. That is not about whether or not you're tired. That's about whether or not, as you're kicking the ball, you are making a conscious effort to turn your hips and make sure your foot gets around the ball to pull it back. The work is exceptional. Once again, you know, Caitlin, Sasha, G, and Chloe, they all, multiple times from about the halfway line, dribbled all the way down into the opponent's box to create opportunities. And so this week we will work on being able to make that better, to really take advantage of those opportunities. So here Caitlin's one-on-one. Go ahead and beat her again. Done it a bunch of times. That's good support defending by them, though, to make sure to have someone there to block the cross, because that was a better angle on the cross. I want to give a mention to Paige. She did that a bunch of times in the half, so that was great. That was great to see. Just good piece of skill, tackle the ball away, find someone forward. Casey as well, a couple nice pirouettes.
Good idea. Well done, Layla. Good move. Good ball.
Again, that's much better. Cutting the ball back, looking for someone in the middle.
Hey, midfield. She's dangerous. Great ball.
That's great play.
Keep going, Lou. Keep going. Keep going.
Again, well played to cut it back. I like the idea to try and find, forward's feet. And can we just not let them out of here? Can we just keep the pressure on? Again, good ball into a really dangerous area. The keeper's not going to come try and get that one. And I believe it was Grace running in into the middle there. Could have stabbed one home. It was a very good run. And we're getting there. We're getting there. It's close.
Lulu Jocelyn, guaranteed this is yours if it goes over that front line.
So now the keeper's going to want to go a little longer, dump into the midfield. We win it. Love the idea to try and combine in the middle, try and beat them in skill. I love that from Caitlin to come in and get involved to win the ball back for us.
Drop, Lulu and Jocelyn. Hold on you two, but drop quickly. I want this punt to land. No bounce. Good, Jocelyn.
I mean, the difference it makes. Don't let a punt land. And once again, look, we go ahead and we scoop it up and we're attacking again. Great defending. I love that by Caitlin to not run towards the ball, and to understand that it was going to get by and that she could run. Great play, great ball, great one-touch shot, and that's it. Game's pretty much wrapped up now. That's done. And if we take a look at where that started, that's Addie making a good tackle, finding feet. Lulu doing a good job of getting the ball out of her feet, looking up, and playing a quality penetrating ball, one that actually gets beyond the defense. A willing run, good play to have some composure and to find feet right there. Caitlin maybe didn't cross the ball, but she pulled it back, looked for someone who was open. Layla, top of the box, easy shot, goal. See here, Sasha cuts it back. Once again, we're finding Layla at the top of the box. I mean, this is what we want. We want to be finding our attacking midfielders right in the middle, making runs at the top or into the penalty area. And notice how when we decide not to just cross it and we pull the ball back, we do keep it. We do a better job of keeping it. And once again, that's one of those instances, rushing a ball, either a shot or a cross, and it goes out of play. So I really implore the players to watch this, because and to watch the whole thing, not just when you're on the field. I'm okay with you skipping moments here and there, it's fine, but this is just an hour long, and if we can clean up some of these things, the likelihood that we're going to score a lot more goals is really, really high. Last 5 minutes here of the game, we can make some changes. I wanted to bring off the group that had just scored that goal, because I think that they really did go and win the game for us in the end. That last group that just played and that just got subbed off, because there were certain moments of repeated quality and the things, that repeated thought that I had been asking for, that happened, that really led to us getting there. And I think it was a really fun game in the sense that on the sidelines, I mean, I was able to really focus on a few certain messages and watch as they did improve throughout the game. And so now, knowing what those things are, my hope is that we can take them into the next few games. We play against the Castle Rock Select team next, and they actually are the team that we played in the very first friendly, um, which there is a video posted online if anyone wants to do some scouting. But I can tell you right now, I was not overly impressed with that team. They do have some good players. I don't know if they will have the same goalkeeper they had, who, you know, let a few balls in that, you know, for instance, this goalie that we played against today just would not have. So it's going to be an interesting game, but especially after we beat the Rush team that we did, who I still believe is the best team we played aside from the team that mauled us in the semifinal of the Rapids tournament. But when I look at what we can do, and I look at some of the teams that we have already played, and some of the teams that we haven't, who have played some of the teams we've played, what I see is a great level of optimism of what our benchmark is and where we can go in every single game. You know, we're a good team, and we've got good, solid mechanics. We're powerful, we're strong, we're deep, and every individual, I think, has an enormous amount to offer. Not 100% sure that was a foul. G did tell me that the girl sort of tripped over herself, and I mean, I don't know, but one of those little things. We also committed a few fouls today, so you know, we can kind of let go that these things happen. And I think, is just checking to see if it was something more intentional, right? They are restarting play before the referee's really ready, and I don't think it really bothered him too much, actually. But yeah, overall, this was a good game. We did well, and you know, I just want to mention, actually, right here, G did a really good job of staying on side there. But if you look, Chloe at the back post is about 2-3 yards off still, and yeah, just a little bit offside. So it was the correct call for any of the players who were upset that should have counted. Sorry, but the truth is that was offside. But the run was good. You know, I think the positioning, aside from being those 2-3 yards behind the opponent, you know, if Chloe had been just a couple yards back and stayed in line, you know, that's certainly a goal, because the pass is good. It's behind the back line into the defense, and you know, the anticipation from Chloe there was good. So, you know, really, really positive overall. And here's the one reason why you want to be extra careful all the way through the game. Because just like that, with about 20 seconds to play, Nolani's having to come to the top of her box to make a save, and we're kind of trying to scramble to make sure they don't get a shot on the goal while she's out.